Hello and welcome into this special edition of the Why So Serious show. I'm Mallory Schnell, joined by special guest Naomi Raisman.
Hi.
Hello. So we had a few games in the NBA today, starting with our home team, the Miami Heat versus the Milwaukee Bucks in Game 3. The Miami Heat won that game and now take a 3-0 lead. Naomi, what did you think of the game today?
I thought it was another great game by the Heat. I think they're just coming to play. They're undefeated in the playoff run now, and I think they could really go all the way. It's looking that way.
Yeah, so do you see a Heat versus Lakers finals matchup?
I mean, I think it's between the Lakers and the Clippers, but we'll have to see how that all goes.
And when a team is up 3-0, it's never gone the other way where the other team comes back. So the next round would have to be Toronto or Boston. What do you think about those matchups?
Well, I think they're both really good teams. I think it would be a good matchup either way. The Celtics and the Raptors have both proven their, skill this season. So I think the Heat have beaten both the Bucks and the Raptors in the regular season. So I think that the Heat would be in a good situation either way, but we will have to see. I mean, they had a close game last night too, right? By 1 point. The
Yeah,
Raptors
like
won
that.
the buzzer beater.
Mm-hmm. I think something that the Heat have proven over their season is that they tend to do well against these better teams, and they've shown that in the series against Milwaukee. Do you think Milwaukee gets a game or two back, or do you think that the Heat complete the sweep on Sunday?
I think the Heat will complete the sweep, but you never know with Giannis. He can work in very, mysterious ways. I think he'll have a really good game though.
If this Milwaukee team gets knocked out, do you think that Milwaukee has to make some changes, go out and get some more pieces for Giannis? Do they fire their coach? What has to happen with Milwaukee?
That's actually a good question. I didn't really think about that because it's always just like Milwaukee with Giannis and Middleton. But yeah, maybe more guards. I feel like that Giannis can feed off of. I think that would be helpful to him. But he can run the show on his own. He's proven that.
Yeah. And then we had another game going on. I don't know if it's still going on right now. Do you know anything about this Lakers-Rockets game that's happening?
The Rockets are really bringing it. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting the Lakers to just come in and, start off with a 1-0 lead, but it's looking like the Rockets are going to win actually.
Yeah, I just checked. The Rockets won 112-97, so the Rockets take a 1-0 lead.
Wow. And the Lakers had all their players. Even Rondo was back, which was crazy.
Let's look at some of the stats here.
I know James Harden had a really good game. He had over 20 in the first half.
Mm-hmm. Anthony Davis, 25 points, 14 rebounds. LeBron, 20 and 8. And let's look at the Rockets. James Harden, 36 points, only 5 assists, which is kind of low for him.
He had to take the game into his own hands, and I guess it worked.
Westbrook, 24, 9 and 6. I mean, yeah, I was expecting the Lakers to come out with this first game here, but game ones aren't always, the deciding factor. Orlando beat Milwaukee in their game one, and then Milwaukee went on to beat them. So you never know what can happen. So yeah, there was. Oh, you didn't watch the game 7 with OKC and Houston the other day. We already talked about that, but that was crazy.
Another close game. They seem to be all really close games until the very end.
Everyone in this bubble is very talented, and there are teams that are not in the bubble that are talented. The Phoenix Suns, we talk about it all the time on this show. It would have been so amazing to see them in this bubble. They went like in the playoff part of the bubble. They were the only undefeated team. They went and still somehow came up short because they needed teams to lose, and those teams are winning. So it's unfortunate.
It's unfortunate for them because they were doing so well. Well. What do you think about Devin Booker?
I was about to say, I think maybe he's in kind of like the same boat as Giannis is. Like, he can't carry the whole team by himself. I don't know if you know, but James Jones, former Miami Heat champion, is the general manager of the Phoenix Suns. So he's going to have to get some more pieces for Devin Booker. I mean, I know Booker has said he never wants to leave Phoenix, but he's got to want to be winning at this point.
Yeah, it's very hard, putting in everything, just doing so well. It's very hard, but I think like you said, they'll bring in some extra pieces this season and we'll see how that turns out.
Yep.
It'll only be good.
Draymond Green says to get Devin Booker out of Phoenix. I don't think that's what Booker wants.
Yeah.
It's been great to see Draymond as an analyst on TNT. He's a funny guy. But I think it will be even better to see the Warriors come back at it next year once everyone is healthy and once, they have their draft, because they do have the number 2 draft pick in this upcoming draft.
I think that'll be very helpful for them. I mean, Clay not being healthy and losing Durant was a lot for one team to take. So I think, and Curry was also out a lot with the injury. So I mean, they had a lot. It was just a year, I think, of growth for them and, everyone getting healthy and resting. So I think they'll come back even stronger.
I think everyone forgets that the Warriors were fine without Durant, like before he came. I think that they'll be fine.
One championship.
Yeah, definitely. Like they did. Speaking of Durant, I think it will be interesting when both him and Kyrie are healthy next year.
Yeah, is that like a new dynamic duo? I mean,
I don't know. Like everyone's trying to do this dynamic duo thing. I think it works like with Anthony Davis and LeBron James. I don't think it works as well with Kawhi and Paul George as we thought. So we'll see how it works with Kyrie and Kevin Durant. But that's going to add some more difficulty to the East for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the Nets are actually a good team. Like, despite not making the playoffs, they're still a good team. But I mean, with Durant, obviously, it'll bring it up a whole different level.
You know who else the Nets have? The Suns waived him at the end of the season. Tyler Johnson.
Tyler Johnson, yeah.
Tyler Johnson, former Miami Heat player. So we'll see what he can do next year. Let's get into some reality TV. Last night was the live eviction, the 4th live eviction of the summer for Big Brother. Were you expecting Kaser to be evicted last night?
100%. I think everyone knew that Kaser was going to be evicted. He even knew himself that he was going home once, Janelle left. And, we can talk about his little speech before the live vote. He was really throwing out and singling out some people in the house.
Yeah, let's talk about that. He kind of called Cody and Nicole F the heads of the snake of the house. I think he got some parts of alliances right, but he was also very wrong. You could see the shock on his face in his exit interview with Julie when he found out that Memphis was a part of the alliance.
He confided into Memphis. He thought they were like real buddies, and he was telling him everything. But the whole time he was like, I don't know anything that's going on. Well, he made the alliance. He was in the alliance, so of course he wasn't going to say anything to Kaser because he wasn't in the alliance. So he definitely was shocked. He couldn't believe it.
Yeah, and I think when Janelle got evicted the week before and she found out the same thing, she knew. She was like, oh no, Kaser's going to tell us everything.
Yeah, she wanted to go back in so she could tell Kaser before, he told Memphis everything.
I know, that's crazy. But now that the house targets, essentially, of Kaser and Janelle are out of the house, where does the target turn to now?
Well, there was this little whole thing with Danny, who was, slipping, planting seeds of doubt everywhere within the Split Six Alliance. So we'll see how that turns out, because I know she's now on everyone's radar in their own alliance. She's on, their radar. Also Ian too, who's a really good player, very smart, very analytical, can see everything in the game. He's starting to get on people's radars also, and I think he's starting to notice that. So he wants to make some changes in the house, for who's like in charge and running the whole thing, because he knows, he sees it, he gets it.
Yeah, I think Ian wanted to kind of lay low in the beginning of the game, and now he's starting to come out of his shell. He asked Kaser to kind of blow up in his eviction speech like he did. Ian is supposed to be aligned with Nicole F as like they're the 2 previous winners, but he's realizing if he's on the block with Nicole F, everyone in the house loves like pretty much has good relationships with Nicole F, so they're going to keep her over him. So Ian kind of wants to put a target on her back, which is why he asked Kaser to talk about Cody and Nicole. But I think that Cody is in a great place in the house. I think that Tyler is in a great place in the house. I thought Danny was before this last week, but not so much. So I think Cody, Tyler, and Christmas are sitting comfortably at this.
You know who else is? Enzo, believe it or not.
Yeah.
He's actually in a good place, surprisingly. He seems comfortable.
Yes. I mean, you can never feel comfortable in the house, but I don't see, like, at this point of the game, like, if someone, I mean, maybe if a wild card, like, won an HOH, like, I don't know what Kevin would do, you know, well.
I was wondering what Davon would do if she won HOH.
Maybe.
She seemed pretty upset after she heard about what Danny did.
Yeah. That would be interesting. Davon and Bailey are closely aligned, but now you could see the tension because it was kind of pick who faces off against each other HOH. You could see that there was kind of already like a division. There's so many alliances with like the same people that I think it's gonna like all blow up. But I think that Cody, Enzo, and Tyler have a strong like core of them three. And people don't see that. They think that like the guys are working together, but David's involved. But David, poor David, he has no idea what's going on in the house.
Yeah, I feel bad. I mean, he was close with Tyler until that whole situation happened. But, I think it's pretty cool how some of these players, like Ian, how he said before, they're just like laying low. Like they're not really showing all their cards yet. They're kind of waiting until they want to make a big move because nobody's really made such a house changing move like breaking the line and breaking the line through the sand, just showing where everyone stands. There hasn't been that point yet where the whole majority of the house has been voting to evict the same person. Yeah. There hasn't been where like anyone's like has to choose between who to evict.
Yeah, there are some seasons where it's like kind of in the beginning weeks where it's like a split vote, but it's been very a house, like go with the house type of season, which is a little disappointing because it's all stars and you do want to see some big moves. But we do know that Christmas is the new HOH, and I don't think that she's, I think the easy targets would just be going after David and Kevin, put those two on the block, maybe Ian. But I think you got to start getting out some of these bigger targets. Maybe Danny does have a target on her back now.
Maybe. And Christmas is now working with Enzo, who's not really liking Danny, and neither is Tyler or Cody. So the three of them, I think, are going to kind of be in her ear this week about, where to go with her HOH. She's obviously going to decide in the end, but I think they're kind of going to plant some seeds in her ear about Danny also, because Christmas and Danny are in the alliance that Memphis created together. So it's going to kind of, shake things up.
Yeah. And what was I going to say? I think that Danny is in for a rude awakening. If she does get put on the block, it will like kind of open her eyes up to maybe I'm playing too hard. Maybe I'm sprinkling too many seeds and people are starting to catch on. That was just not the smartest. It was kind of messy when she went into the HOH room and Nicole was sitting right there and said Bailey and Davon want a meeting.
Yeah, it's
I know she's closely aligned with Nicole F, but Nicole F is technically not in the Slick Six. So
she's not. I mean, it's kind of awkward too for Nicole to just be there and hear that there's a meeting and she's not a part of it. I mean, I would feel pretty awkward in that situation.
I'm not sure if Nicole F caught on to that, but
she looked kind of like weird about it. Mm-hmm. And what about the new the basement in the competition in the dark?
I have no idea what that's going to be, but the first thing I thought of when I saw it was a dark competition is I thought of how David went out last season.
The first episode.
It was an in the dark competition, and so I feel like that's going to be traumatic for him. Hopefully well, he'll have something to prove. But
hopefully we'll have better luck in the dark this time.
Yeah. I think people, he doesn't know what's going on most of the time, but he's close. He's finishing close in competitions. He'll prove himself. I think he's a smart guy and he'll catch on to the game soon enough. that another reality show that's starting soon is your favorite show, which is Dancing with the Stars. We talked about a few days ago, the celebrities were revealed, but there are some rumors on which pros they are paired up with. What do you know so far, Naomi?
So I've been seeing some rumors about, the new celebrities and which pros they can be with. So there's a wide diversity of celebrities this season. We got a bunch of different people and, the same great pros as always, but a pro who's coming back, Artem, is rumored to be paired with the former Bachelorette, Caitlyn, which I know you're pretty excited to see her because you watched her on The Bachelorette, right?
Yeah. Um, I didn't watch Caitlyn's season live just because I didn't really watch the season that she was on beforehand. But with the Bachelor Goat episodes that have been going on every Monday, I got to kind of watch her season in a condensed 3-hour format, and she's just so cool. And to see when it got announced that she was on Dancing with the Stars, she started crying. It was a dream of hers, she said. She almost got to be on a few years ago, and they decided no. So she's very excited about that. I think she does have a little bit of dancing background, just maybe dance when she was younger, stuff like that. So I'm very excited for her. But another person from TV that I know is Sky Jackson. I used to watch her in the TV show Jessie growing up.
Yeah, she's rumored to be with Alan, who's the reigning champ. And I think that would actually be a really good partnership. I think they would do really well. And she's the youngest one in the competition this year. So I think she's really going to prove herself.
Yeah, definitely. Disney stars have a good reputation on this show, so we'll see what happens with her. But a more interesting celebrity would have to be Carol Baskin for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think anyone was expecting her to be on the show, but she is. And we're going to see, I guess, how that all turns out. But she's rumored to be with Pasha, who's now a second-year pro. So, he has good dance experience. He did well last season. So I'm curious to see what they're going to bring. I mean, definitely to the song, right? I mean, definitely.
Yeah, I saw a tweet that said if they have to do "Eye of the Tiger" of their for their first dance,
I
because
mean, I think it has to happen.
if it doesn't happen, we're boycotting.
Definitely, yeah, I would think so.
So, who are some of the other celebrities again? Who else do we have?
Monica Aldama, who's actually the coach for Navarro Cheer, that was the docu-series on Netflix, which I watched, was very good. And she's rumored to be with Val, who's my guy. So they're my favorites right now, going into it. I mean, I haven't seen them dance yet, but they're definitely going to be good.
So I know Monica obviously has coaching experience. I'm guessing did she cheer or dance when she was younger as well? Do you know?
I think so, yeah. And I think she'll be able to bring her kind of dedication and determination that, she does implements through her coaching onto the dance floor. She'll be able to learn and pick up different steps well because she has to, she understands the coaching aspect because she does it every year, for her team. So I think she'll take it really well and she'll work really hard and do well.
I think that would be an interesting dynamic between her and Val because she's used to the one who's calling the shots and doing the choreography, but now she's going to have to kind of sit back, listen to an experienced pro like Val, and listen to what he has to say.
Well, he's also a great teacher, so I think they'll be fine. And yeah, they're my favorites right now to win. I mean, definitely to see how the whole competition goes. It's going to be a very different season, though. I mean, they're
Yeah,
just
how
starting.
is he going to be working with COVID?
Yeah, I mean, they're wearing masks right now. They're in, rehearsals, I think, doing COVID testing, to make sure that no one tests positive. But I'm not sure how the whole judges scene and, how they normally walk and do interviews after their dances. I mean, I think it's going to be completely different.
Yeah, not only because of COVID, but Aaron Andrews and Tom Bergeron are out, and we've got Tyra Banks now. So it's going to be a completely different show with that. I mean, Tyra has some hosting experience with AGT and Top Model and all of that, but she said she's excited to be a host, and we're excited to see how that goes.
And also, Whitney Carson and Lindsay Arnold aren't even going to be on the season. They're both pregnant. So it's definitely going to be a little different not seeing them on the show. They've been, in the past, a lot of seasons. So it's going to be weird not seeing them on the show, but we have Sharna back, we have Artem back, we have Cheryl back, we have Keo back. So we got a bunch of people back too. So it's pretty great.
Yeah, Lindsay and Whitney are often always in the finals. It seems like they always get paired with pretty good people. But it's good to see Sharna and Artem back. Who is Sharna going to be partnered with, rumor?
I think she's supposedly going to be with, because most people think that she's going to be with AJ McLean, who's in the Backstreet Boys. But since she had Nick Carter from the Backstreet Boys, so everyone thought, oh, she's going to have, someone from the Backstreet Boys again. But she's rumored to be with Jesse Metcalf. I don't know who he is, but we'll have to see.
The football player? Or I know there's a football player as well, right?
Yeah, there's a football player, Vernon Davis. He's going to be on the show. He's rumored to be with PETA, who's also back too.
Where's Max?
That's a good question. I don't know where he is. I don't know where.
I guess someone has to stay home with baby Shy.
Oh yeah.
Is Jenna back?
She is. Jenna is back for another season. She's rumored to be with Neve, and I think he is a host of The Catfish, which is, a reality TV show. I've never seen it either, but he posted a video on Instagram of him dancing, so we'll see how that turns, how that goes on the dance floor for him.
Yeah, should be a very interesting season of Dancing with the Stars. And you don't watch Love Island, do you?
I don't, but I've heard of it. You've been watching it, right?
Yeah, I have. I had it on the background here. It's been a very interesting few days. There was a new girl, Lauren. She came into the villa and shook everything up. Happy couples are no longer happy. She came to steal people's man. She went on 3 dates. We've got our friend Mackenzie, who Jesse always likes to bring up. I'll bring it up since he's not here. Jesse met Mackenzie at a Diamondbacks game. He always likes to say that. Mackenzie and Connor, they're kind of up and down, but right now they're going strong. We've got Sally and Johnny going strong. Tonight we saw Moira and Calvin are not really on the same page like they thought they were. Moira said, no one can come into this villa and make me look at someone else. And Calvin said, if someone else comes in, I'm going to explore my options. So Moira wasn't too happy about that because she chose to couple up with him and send her ex-boyfriend James home. It's a whole big thing, yeah. So basically, like, how it works is there's a recoupling every few days. When you coupled up with someone, you go on dates with them, you sleep in the same bed as them, and you just got to keep the relationship going until the next recoupling. Otherwise, you'll get dumped from the villa.
That's crazy. I've never watched that show. It sounds really interesting.
Yeah, I saw they had this commercial of the Tyler and Janelle from Big Brother talking about they should put the Love Island people in the Big Brother house and see how that goes.
That would be funny.
Yeah, but it's a very interesting show. It's just a lot of people don't watch it because it calls for dedication. It's on like 6 days a week.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like last night, I thought I was only in for an hour. It ended up being 2 hours. So it's a crazy show. It takes a lot of dedication. What else do we've got on today's agenda? Oh, there were a few Game 7s in hockey today. I know you don't really like hockey, but I'm just going to go over that really quickly. The Vegas Golden Knights and Vancouver Canucks had a Game 7. It was 0-0 up until the third period, and all of a sudden Vegas scored 3 goals. So they're going on to the Western Conference Finals against Dallas, who won their Game 7 today against Colorado. I know everyone at my school, Cronkite, is very upset about that because for some reason, everyone at Cronkite is either from California or Colorado. So Twitter was very not happy with the outcome of that game today. I had Colorado winning the whole Stanley Cup this year, so that should be interesting. I'm not really sure what's going on in the Eastern Conference of hockey, but what do you think of all these Game 7s in basketball and hockey? Like, do they make you as nervous as they make me?
I mean, definitely. I think it makes everyone nervous. It's your life, your team, your season's on the line. I mean, it's everything at stake. I think it's keeping everyone on the edges of their seats. It's really, bringing sports back, I think was great for everyone during this, crazy and uncertain time. Just bringing back all these sports has brought so much joy to everyone's homes, something to look forward to, every night and during the day to be able to watch, professional sports again. So I think it's really great that they've been able to, make it happen and set it up.
Mm-hmm. So tomorrow, I just looked, there's another Game 7, New York Islanders versus the Flyers, and the winner of that will take on the Tampa Bay Lightning in the Eastern Conference Finals. Because Tampa and Boston had their game 7 the other day. There's so many Game 7s going on.
Yeah, oh my gosh, that is crazy.
Yeah. So I'm not the biggest Boston Bruins fan. They're kind of a rival of the Florida Panthers. So I was glad that Tampa knocked them out. If I had to cheer for a team in the East, I guess it would be Tampa. But I'm a big Vegas Golden Knights fan in the West, so I'm going for them all the way. They stole 2 of my Panthers in the expansion draft, Jonathan Marchessault and Riley Smith. So I'm always rooting for them to do well. Playoff Riley is a thing, like my dad says. When it's time for the playoffs, he turns it on. He's scoring goals. He's doing assists. He's doing it all. So look out for playoff Riley.
And playoff Jimmy.
Playoff Jimmy is also a thing. Yep, the Miami Heat have been tweeting about that. I don't know if you've seen on Twitter, but Zoran Dragic has been very active lately. Brother of Goran Dragic. Let's do a reading of some of Zoran's tweets because they're very funny. Let me pull it up here. 4 quarter, 40-13. And Jimmy Butler, fire emoji, ice emoji, at Miami Heat, at Goran Dragic, broom emoji.
Well, I think he's got it down. I think he's pretty accurate with that tweet. It encompasses everything.
Another tweet. Just probably 20 A's with a bunch of the emojis that usually the Heat use for Bam. So maybe he's talking about Bam in that tweet. Are we going for another broom? Fire emoji, arm emoji, sit down, 8+ at Miami Heat. So, Zoran's very excited. I don't know if you remember, but he was actually on the Heat for a little bit. We had both brothers at one point, and we had to release him. So he plays overseas now, but he's always a big supporter of the Miami Heat and his brother Goran.
Another thing, he's been doing really well. He made history for scoring 20+ points in 6 straight playoff games, which goes along with LeBron and Dwayne Wade. So I think that's pretty cool. He's been doing really well.
That's Goran has been doing pretty well in the bubble so far. And joining us is Jesse Morrison. We're talking about the bubble. We're about to do a bub day. What did you think watching the NBA game today, Jesse?
I watched so much. I did so much NBA today. I didn't just work all day at PGA Tour Superstore and then come home and have training for Honors Devils. I watched so much NBA today.
Jesse, would you like to talk about your first day of work on the air?
Yes, it's awesome. I am going to totally get all the connections. So it's in Scottsdale, and Michael Wilbon and Charles Barkley both have houses in Scottsdale. And they both come in a lot, apparently. So I'm making business cards. I'm going to be handing out more content, maybe be on ESPN or TNT soon.
Oh, yeah. So Charles Barkley walks into the PGA Tour store. What's the first thing you say?
Hi, welcome, sir, to the PGA Tour store. Let me know if you can find anything. And then when he comes to the cash register to check out, hey, Chuck, I'm a huge fan of TNT inside the NBA. I know you were a great player before I was born. To round mound of rebound, Sir Charles, and then I say, here's my business card. I'd love to meet you. I'd love to meet Ernie. I'd love to meet Shaq. I'd love to meet Kenny. I'd love to come down to Atlanta sometime once COVID is over and take over for Ernie. That would be the dream.
That would be awesome.
So you think on the spot he's just going to give you a job right there on TNT?
I mean, he's Charles Barkley. He can do whatever he wants.
Draymond Green has been doing a good job on TNT. What do you think about that?
I mean, I haven't seen him in a while, but I think that since he said that he tampered on live air.
He did get fined for saying that to get Devin Booker out of Phoenix. So
Yeah, he got fined for that.
that was very interesting.
Mallory, we may have a Bucks fan join us tonight or soon. He's my friend from high school. We'll see.
No Bucks fans on this show.
No, you can just make fun of him. It's fine.
He's overpowered. We've got 2 Heat fans on. Jesse's a kind of bandwagon fan.
I love the Heat. Let me tell you, they're the perfect team to beat the Bucks. They are so good. They got shooters. They got Duncan Robinson, one of my favorite players in the NBA. Totally not overrated. Kendrick Nunn, I love him. Tyler Hero, all those rookies that they have on their team. Oh, and let me tell you, they've got. They used to have D Wade. Now they don't. But he's still there in spirit, which helps everything. They had Shaq back in the day. They even had LeBron that one time. Tim Hardaway, Alonzo Mourning.
Just going through
Jimmy Butler. I like him. His defense is great. Goran Dragic, my favorite player. It maybe in the entire league. The Dragon, I saw him play in Phoenix one time. He was so fast. This was 2013, so he's a little faster back then. He's like 34 years old now, so he's getting a little older, but he's still good. He's still good. He's gotten a lot smarter with age. Just like most players, you got to make up for your loss of speed and agility and stuff with just being a good basketball player. But he's so fast for a 34-year-old. So we're gonna, Miami Heat, my team.
I think it's very hypocritical for you to just say the Miami Heat are your team when, you're not rooting for them until like 4 days ago.
I mean, I said they were going to make the finals at like the beginning of the season, so.
No, I'm pretty sure I can go back into one of our old shows. I probably have it on the record.
No. I hate on the Heat in private. When I am on the show, I am a Heat stan.
No, but in the earlier shows, I'm sure, like back in October, I probably said Heat versus Lakers finals, and I still stand by that.
I definitely said that too. I'm telling you. I think I might be going Clippers. I don't know about the Lakers card play. They lost today. What was the final score of that game?
It was 112-97.
Yeah, not a great performance for the Lakers. LeBron, he might be past his prime. I'm not gonna lie.
Naomi, is LeBron past his prime?
That's a hard thing to say. I don't think LeBron will be out of it for a while. I think he's like still the biggest contributor to that team.
Yeah.
Oh, he's still the biggest contributor to that team, but he hasn't been the same in the bubble. I'm not gonna lie.
I think he's been pretty good. But
I think LeBron's someone that feeds off the crowd too, and without the crowd, I don't think he likes it as much. Not gonna lie.
I don't think LeBron is someone that feeds off the crowd.
Oh, 100%.
That much. I think he does. I
agree
with that.
Like the whole this thing or whatever, like that was such just him feeding off the crowd. He loves the crowd. He said back in March, or February when they were first talking about COVID, canceling things. He was like, "No fans." Remember that?
No.
He's like, I'm not gonna play without fans. Well, he's playing, but he loves the fans. LeBron loves the fans.
Doesn't everyone?
Now, have you put anything on the poll yet?
No, I haven't had it. I see what you mean, that it's hard hosting the show and putting polls at the same time.
Yeah, okay. So since I'm here, I'm going to tell you to put two things on the poll. First, does LeBron feed off the crowd? Yes or no? And then, do you eat mac and cheese with a fork, a spoon, or it doesn't matter? Because I don't think it matters.
My dad eats it with a spoon. I eat it with a fork.
I think Jeremy eats it with a spoon. And he was telling me how weird it was that I eat it with a fork.
I always eat my mac and cheese with a fork.
So do I.
I think it works both ways. It doesn't really
matter.
matter.
A fork.
A spork is the perfect utensil. A spork is why they don't have more sporks and less forks and spoons. It just mind boggles me. You can do both. You can eat soup with a spork.
But wouldn't it just go off the?
No, you can get it done if you have to. Also, do either of you just get to a point with soup where you're so tired of it that you just pick it up and you just drink it?
No.
That doesn't happen to you. I'm soup is just soup. Okay, you guys say that or I don't know about you, but Mallory says that she is a super big picky eater. We know she's a big picky eater.
I
But
would
for
say Naomi is too.
but for me,
Naomi eats. Okay, so here's how it goes. I think Jeremy is the pickiest eater. No, Noah. Okay, it goes Noah, Jeremy, me, then Naomi. I think Naomi is the most adventurous when it comes to food.
I'm the least picky out of us.
Yeah, wait till you play Division I basketball. You're gonna have to eat what they make you eat, which is gonna be like.
No, she'll just do Uber Eats if she doesn't like the food.
I don't know. They give them they gave the ASU people like full pizzas after games and stuff. You ever see like Jatavia Tapley just walking out with a pizza?
No.
Did you put those on the poll, by the way?
What?
Did you put those on the poll yet?
I put one. I'm still putting the mac and cheese one. It's distract. I can't like host and do the polls at the same.
It's fine. You've got me now.
Okay.
I can just filibuster here.
Okay, filibuster. Naomi, have you learned what filibuster means yet, or no? You haven't taken government.
No, I'm not in government.
Wait till AP Gov. You'll learn all about.
You guys didn't take like civics in middle school?
No.
You didn't take civics in middle school?
No. We have a different curriculum than Virginia.
Yeah, Virginia. Well, you guys were in private school, but I was in Virginia public schools, which are highly ranked.
Sweet macaroni with a fork.
Macaroni and cheese.
Okay, same thing. But
no,
the
macaroni can be macaroni and red sauce if you have
But the problem is I don't usually make my mac and cheese with macaroni. Like I do with penne, rigatoni, bow ties, the spirally ones. Like I don't often actually use macaroni noodles.
Interesting. I don't know if that's macaroni and cheese then.
It is.
Because it's not actually macaroni.
It's the same thing.
My question is though,
you order mac and cheese off of a kid's menu. Though sometimes restaurants, if it's not Kraft, which it usually is, sometimes it will be the bow ties with cheese.
And but you got to go to a restaurant that has actual mac and cheese on the adult menu.
Yeah, but sometimes that's not macaroni either. Like the spirally one. Like what does J. Alexander's have?
Yeah, you might be right. My question is though,
it's not macaroni.
Is macaroni and cheese an Italian food or an American food?
It's American. Naomi, like we went to Italy as a family. We did not have macaroni and cheese at all.
Well, I'm not talking about like authentic Italian food, but like Italian food that we would eat in America.
I don't find mac and cheese at an Italian restaurant. I don't know about Virginia, but
I don't either. But there is Romano's Macaroni Grill, which is a chain restaurant of Italian restaurants.
I don't
Do we
know.
want to put this on the poll?
Is macaroni and cheese Italian food? I'm going to vote no on it, but I'll put it on the poll.
We have a special guest soon. Not who you think it is.
What do you mean?
We have a special guest coming on, not who you think it is. Hold on just a second. It is not my friend in Virginia.
Is it someone I know?
Potentially. You might know him very well.
I might know him very. Is it my brother?
It might not be your brother. It might be your brother, though.
Is it my father?
Oh, I wish.
Should I? He texted me if you. Oh, well, Jeremy Schnell's in the waiting room, so.
Yeah, it's Jeremy.
Let me admit him here.
I'll use a broom with him. Oh, he's in his studio.
Jeremy,
are you using Mike?
Is macaroni and cheese Italian food?
No.
Exactly. Do you eat it with a fork or a spoon?
It just depends. If it's the little Easy Mac, you eat it with a spoon. If it's bigger than Easy Mac, you eat it with a fork.
Jeremy, can you turn your phone around this way? There we go. That's much better. That's much. All right, how was high school football in Montana tonight?
Jesse, high school football today was fantastic, as I'm here all day. You know, like I'm a radio host. You see that? No, but it was a lot of fun today. Townsend got their first win of the season, and Eureka drops to 1-1 on the season as well.
So I have Mallory. You don't have the best option, which is it doesn't matter.
You didn't tell me to put that as an
I did tell you that, didn't I, Naomi?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Naomi, not Naomi, but we'll let it slide.
Valerie said Naomi earlier.
It's Naomi.
She said she doesn't care. When we went over this.
On to both.
See? I answered yes on that it's an Italian food because Macaroni Grill is an Italian restaurant.
Welcome to Outside of Fan Rich Field in Townsend.
He's gonna edit on the show.
Yeah, I don't. You should probably leave.
So I came on to talk about the Miami Heat, obviously.
Oh yeah, let's talk about it for a third time. Let's go.
They played awful today, and they still beat the Bucks.
They played awful?
Yeah, they played like crap. And then they suddenly had a 40-point fourth quarter and held the Bucks to 13 points in the fourth quarter. Insane defense.
The Bucks are the Miami Heat or the Bucks kryptonite. They're the perfect team to beat.
The Miami Heat are the best team in the NBA, Jesse.
That's not true, but
the Heat haven't played that good in this series.
By the way, Jeremy, I've changed my finals prediction for the Western Conference.
He's got Heat versus Clippers. Okay, let's go around. I have Heat versus Lakers.
Because the Lakers lost, so you're living in the moment because the Lakers
no,
lost.
No. It wasn't that. This was currently while the game was going on, and I was watching it with my roommate a little bit, and I was like, I was just just watching the Lakers play. They've got Rondo back, but I'm not sure he's 100%. I just don't think their guard play can hold up. Maybe not even with Houston, man.
Yeah.
Their guard play is just not – they don't have anybody good. And, LeBron's never needed – D-Wade's a guard, but he doesn't – he plays like a forward that's just too short to be called one. I'm just saying that, LeBron's never really had a good – he's never really, Kyrie, I guess. But, I don't know. I think they need guards. They need better guards on the Lakers. And, I don't know. I think LeBron's window is closing.
I don't think so. He's gonna stay there till Bronny plays. He wants to play on the team as Bronny.
No, if Bronny plays in the NBA, and they play on the same team, it'll be for the Cavs.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
I think Bronny happen.
Bronny spent most of his growing up years in Miami.
He's spent 4 years there. He's 16. Yeah, but 12 of his years. No, that's 10 of his years in Cleveland.
No, but listen to this. No, he when you're first growing up to become a man when he was turning 10, 11
when you become a man at 10. Yeah, Mark Schlereth's man 101 at 10 years old. You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Mark, 10 years old, becoming a man.
Naomi, if anyone can make it happen, it's Pat Riley, right?
No, LeBron will finish his career as a Cleveland Cavalier. He's going to play 1 more year with the Cavs. This whole LA thing isn't even about winning. It's about him growing his brand, growing his movie thing.
Now it's about carrying on Kobe's legacy.
Yes, that too. I think he wants to win this year. I think he wants to win. He's LeBron. He definitely wants to win. I just don't think that. I don't think LA is the place that he wants to be for the rest of his life. His heart.
I think he will play the rest of his career there, and then maybe he'll sign a 10-day with Cleveland to retire, or maybe he'll do a whole last season there. I don't know.
I think he'll do. That's what I'm saying. I think he'll play at age 40 in Cleveland, because I think his heart lies in Northeast Ohio, at its core. He loves that area of the. He said it over and over and over again how much that part of the country means to him.
That's why he went back and left Miami. And
he left
Miami doing so well with him. 2 championships back to back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
LeBron to Golden State.
Yeah,
wait.
All right.
Giannis to Golden State. Giannis to Golden State. That's actually
okay.
No, but that actually could happen.
Giannis is going
to in all seriousness, we're talking about Giannis to Miami, but in all seriousness, it's really a big possibility that if Giannis says to the Bucks, I'm not going to re-sign with you, that they trade him to Golden State for that number 2 overall pick this summer or this offseason. Jesse, what do you think about that? That could actually happen.
Earlier in the show, Naomi and I were talking about how, like, what happens if they do get swept? What do you do as, like, the owner of the Bucks?
Can I talk about something that I forgot to talk about with Max yesterday on the show?
Yeah, go ahead.
Steve Nash as a coaching hire is a terrible coaching hire.
I just saw his TikTok.
I mean,
The Nets are literally the definition of insanity. They did the exact same thing, and look where that went for them. They hired Jason Kidd as their head coach.
but now they have better players.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Maybe no. This might happen. They might win a bunch of games because they have KD and Kyrie, who knows how.
You're not even like Karis LeVert and Dinwiddie are really good.
All right, I have a limited time here to speak.
You have a limited amount of Nets knowledge, obviously.
I knew who they were. I just but whatever. Maybe they'll be good because they have better players than they did when Jason Kidd was the coach, and Steve Nash will look like this great coach. But I can guarantee you, Steve Nash is not going to be a great coach because even great point guards don't really make great coaches because they don't know what to fix because they just naturally did things really well. Steve Nash just has this amazing ability to pass and shoot, which I just think came to him naturally.
Do you know who I think, as a current player, who's going to make a great coach one day? I think Naomi knows who I'm talking about.
Udonis Haslem.
I said Naomi, not Jeremy. Jimmy Butler said in his press conference today, 8 minutes left in the third quarter, Udonis Haslem comes up to Jimmy Butler. Do not let us lose this game. Turn on your switch. It happened.
That's useless coaching. That's just useless coaching.
Listen, Jesse. Eric Spoelstra at his press conference. I wasn't in charge of any of the huddles in the fourth quarter. Udonis Haslem was coaching the team. That's what Eric Spoelstra said. And, it makes sense. Dan Craig is being looked at by different teams, by the Pacers. Who else was looking at him, Jeremy? A few teams were looking at Dan Craig. So the Heat needed an assistant coach. Who is it going to be? Udonis Haslem. Easy.
But we knew that.
But he's also said before he doesn't want to be an assistant coach. He wants a front office position. He wants to be more like Alonzo Mourning. But I just think he would be such a great assistant coach.
I feel like he is a coach already.
Yeah, he doesn't play.
He's been a coach for 5 years. It's really messing with his career stats. Because every time he gets in for like a minute, and it just like it's a game that takes away from.
He started a bubble game, for your information.
Yeah, because it was like his last game ever potentially, which I think is false because he's just going to sign another 1-year deal to play 10 games next year.
Pat Riley will keep giving him 1-year deals as much as he wants. He is the definition of Heat culture. Yep.
I hate it. This is what I don't like. Like, I love the team. I hate the fans.
What is wrong with Heat culture?
There's why is it so much better than these other teams? Like, y'all have won 2-3 championships. Like,
okay, but like,
you know how many other teams have won a lot of championships?
No, but like, listen to this. People like Jimmy Butler, who said he would never play for the Miami Heat, and said like this, like, the Heat culture, what does that even mean, right? He said when he got to Miami, he's like, wow, I never knew that Heat culture was actually a thing until I got to Miami.
Yeah, because it's really not. Because no one else, dude, when you wear your culture hat, I thought you were wearing a Migos hat because no one else talks about it. Miami Heat fans are super irrational. They're the worst.
I wear this shirt out and people know exactly what it means. They're like, oh,
yeah, it's got a Miami Heat logo on it. Take away the Heat logo.
But you can barely, like, from this
it's a Migos shirt.
Okay, Jesse's mad. Let's get him more mad. Who are we getting in 2021? Donovan Mitchell,
Giannis. Donovan Mitchell's off the cards because he's signing a big extension.
Bradley Beal.
Yeah.
Who else?
Okay,
Jesse.
One of those players.
No one else, Jeremy?
We're probably gonna get Giannis.
Yeah, just Giannis.
Giannis? Okay. Giannis does not strike me as the kind of player who is going to go to the team.
There's been multiple articles out saying that he's going to go to Toronto or Miami.
All right, go to Toronto, but don't go to Miami because if you go to Miami, you're Kevin Durant part 2. I lose all respect for you.
How is Toronto's like arguably a better team than Miami?
You can't go to the team the year after they eliminated you in the playoffs.
Ray Allen did it.
Ray Allen was 90. Not in the prime of your career.
All right, I gotta record myself. I'll call back.
Not in the prime of his career, but has one of the most important shots in NBA history. Okay.
Yeah, he made a great shot, but he was still averaged like 7 points a game that year. He was 90 years old.
Can you fact check that? I don't know if it was 7 points.
Averaged like 7 points a game. It might even not have been 7 points a game.
You got to look that up. But I think you're underestimating Ray Allen.
Might have been like, it was at max like 8 points a game.
I don't know.
Okay, he averaged 11 points a game, 10.9 to be exact. But he played 26 minutes a game.
But yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, but like it's not like starter minutes like he was playing in Boston. He was not his Boston self once, or his Seattle or Milwaukee Ray. Like this was not the Ray Allen that we were accustomed to.
If you can't beat him, join him. That's what Giannis is gonna do.
It's so uncompetitive. It's so un-90s. What happened to the 90s in the NBA, where we could have hand checking and slugfests and Bill Lambier and Dennis Rodman? Like, what happened to those guys? Charles Barkley. Let's have fights in the NBA. We want rivalries. All these guys are friends. What happened to basketball? What happened to competition?
All right, Jesse. Let's look at the polls.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's all that was on the agenda. You missed a lot.
Did you guys talk about reality TV yet?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think about Jay Cutler and Tommy Lahren?
I don't know.
Former Miami Dolphins great, Jay Cutler.
He's on one of those like Real Housewives shows?
No, he was on a show with his wife, and now he's dating this like Fox News lady apparently.
Speaking of Jay Cutler, former Miami Dolphins, the Dolphins did release Josh Rosen today, so I just wanted to say that.
They just released him. They didn't even trade him.
No.
Wow, he's so bad.
Yeah.
My
okay.
gosh.
Does LeBron feed off the crowd? 60% yes.
What about yesterday's polls?
I'll go over those after. Do you eat macaroni and cheese with a fork or a spoon? 100% fork. Is macaroni and cheese Italian food? 83% no. Let's do yesterday's polls really quickly.
I like two of them.
Is the 3-3 tie in the 7th inning a tough one to turn off? 60% yes. Is Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll the corniest combo in the NFL? 100% yes.
All right, Mallory, you get to send us off into the weekend.
All right. Thanks for joining us in this edition of the Why So Serious Show. Thank you to our special guest, Naomi Raisman, for being on with us this whole time. This has been Mallory Schnell and Jesse Morrison with Jeremy Schnell for a little bit. Good night, Canada.